against the break. We'll be right back on the Tanndemonium Radio Show. It's been pure Tanndemonium. Former Turtle Monsters, now Tanndemonium enthusiasts. It is I, Brian Tann, your former favorite comedy man. Well, I should say, hopefully still favorite since you're listening to the show now. And you are listening live. Well, I guess live is probably a relative term because I'm not dead while I'm doing this. Either way, it is I, Brian Tann, and with me as always is my hetero life mate, Shane Tassinari.
Good evening.
Yep, and here we are on our new show, Tanndemonium, on the Granite Coast Entertainment Network. Shane, we have returned after a 1-year hiatus.
That's right, and we're free. Ha!
To do what we want any old time. Or so they say.
And if they don't like it, I can fire me.
Yeah, well, and I don't. You know what's funny though is that I tried really hard to get us fired from from Primetime is Tanndemonium Radio Show, and it didn't even happen. So I don't think we're gonna get fired now either.
I hope not.
I don't see it happening. To tell you the truth, I really don't see it happening because I mean, who else are they going to get to do this show? Another guy named Brian Tann?
We'll put out an ad on Craigslist. Anyone named Brian Tann wanting to do their own radio show, please apply to this ad here.
Well, there's only one, and that's my son, and I don't think he's old enough to do this show. He's only 5.
That might lead to interesting radio.
Yeah, it would just be blah, 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 blah. I like to watch Jesse, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's his thing right now. You know what I got to do this weekend is actually listen and watch the show Jesse on Disney Channel because they were doing this whole Jesse takeover because they start the new season on Friday night. And the reason why I know this is because literally all weekend, all we watched was Jesse. So every half hour,
this is not what I was thinking. When you said Jesse, I was thinking of Uncle Jesse.
Jesse is hot. She really is. She's super hot. Her name is Debbie Ryan or something. But all I heard every half hour was, "Hey, Jesse. Hey, Jesse." It's like, oh my God. Have you ever watched the show?
No, I haven't had that pleasure. But like I said earlier, when you said that, all I could think was Uncle Jesse from Full House.
No, this is about a chick from Texas who's like comes from a military family. And she goes to New York to become an actress and ends up becoming the nanny of these 4 rich kids. And
wait a
only
second.
one of the kids is like the rich people's like birth daughter. The other 3 kids are adopted. One of them is actually, you've seen Grown Ups, right?
Yeah, I've seen Grown Ups, but now that you've described it, I think I know exactly what show you're talking about. It's the redhead. And interestingly enough, they had at one point, and I don't know if they showed this during the marathon, but I remember seeing the commercial. Disney also does an amazing Spider-Man type cartoon, and during the holiday runs, they had a crossover episode where Spider-Man was joined by the nanny and the kids in animation form.
Really? I did not get to see that because I was busy, having a life.
I did not actually get to watch it. I just saw the previews.
Yeah, but you know about
Disney
an episode
channel
that I didn't even get to see during the marathon. You're a nerd. Nerd. Oh man. But so that was my weekend. Well, how was your weekend?
Well, I have to say that over the New Year weekend there, it wasn't actually the weekend, but New Year's Eve, I went to a friend's house, and he and some of his friends, they're all local bands, so I got to sit there and watch different members from Kick the Ladder, American Mixer, and the other band there that I don't remember the name of off the top of my head. I think they were called The Other Side. So it was like 2 drummers, a bassist, and a guitarist all just jamming out, and they had a couple of vocalists there too. But anyways, the interesting part of the evening was after they had jammed out for a few hours and everybody was good and trashed, they took us upstairs and played this game called Cards Against Humanity.
I just played that game this weekend, too. Ironically enough. The game is awesome.
It was the first time I played it, and one of the cards that, I mean, there was all sorts of crazy answers, but the one that got me in the most trouble...
Well, actually, you know what? Let me say it. In case, for those of us in the audience, listen. Cards Against Humanity is it's real easy to play. It's also, if you are easily offended, you should not play the game.
Well, it's a lot like Apples to Apples, except for, like, naughty no-nos.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was told. That's exactly what it is. But what it is, if you don't know what it is that you sit there and you draw 10 white cards, and then you have a stack of black cards, which is like your pool. And then you take turns, and I believe you decide who goes first by who took the last poop.
We didn't quite play those rules, but...
Oh, well, when I played this weekend, that's what we did, so I got to go first. Because I pooped like a triceratops at a freaking vegetarian buffet.
So we took a picture of one of the card drawings, and so the black card, which was the card that everybody has to match their answers to.
The black card is like the subject, so it'll say like blank, like blank-a-doodle-doo or something.
For those Apples to Apples players out there, that is the equivalent of your red card, I believe.
Okay.
And the green card is the equivalent of the white card in Cards Against Humanity. So the one that got posted around Facebook was the black card is woo, goddamn I love, and the winning answer for that card was woo, goddamn I love the primal ball slapping sex your parents are having right now.
Yeah, I think we had something like that. And you know what? I don't think that I don't think we can get in trouble for language on that one, because that's stuff that gets regularly said on the radio. So we'll do so.
Right, there was no cursing in that one.
It's really funny, and it's like, honestly, if you're easily offended, you should not play this game. You really shouldn't.
Oh, it was great. There was a whole bunch of them, like, and people were just basing their the winning answers based on their favorite cards. Like, there was a couple ones like Robert Downey Jr.'s Delicious Asshole was always a winner, or RoboCop was another one that just won by default because it was RoboCop.
Yeah. It's fun. It's a funny game. It's really something that's fun to do if you're just sitting around hanging out and nothing else better to do. The thing that sucks about it though is that it can get old after a while.
Yeah, we played it for like 2 hours, but we were good in trash, so we probably could have done it for another 2 hours if we didn't have to drive home.
Yeah, we ended up, like, the people I was playing the game with, we went through like one way where we had gone through like everything, and then after a while it just wasn't as funny.
Yeah, once you use up all the answers, then it kind of loses its shock value a little bit.
Yeah, I was thinking about making up my own, but I just like wasn't in the mood. Plus, I had some stuff that I needed to do, so it was really like an impromptu get together kind of, you know what I mean? Like get together, hang out kind of thing. You know what I mean? But it's a fun game. It's fun to do when you've got a bunch of people around and you've got people that are like as nuts as you are. So
every time I picked up a card, I was like, hee hee hee.
Yeah, or it's like, oh my god, I can't believe you said that, or oh my god, I can't believe you did that. Oh no.
What does somebody's delicious asshole have to do with 9/11?
It's a very, very funny. It's a fun game to play, like I said. And honestly, though, but like I already said, if you're easily offended, then you should not play it, because honestly, you're gonna hurt somebody's feelings. You know, so you have to have a special breed of dark humor.
And I think that's why they named it Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah, because like I said, honestly, it's not for everyone. It's really not. But it's still a fun game to be played. Like I said, if you're not a pansy, if you're not a wuss, if little things like that, if little things don't hurt your feelings, then yeah, it's absolutely perfect. So I don't know. Does this count as giving them a plug?
Sure. We'll send him a bill in the mail.
There you go. So let me tell you guys a little bit about what you can expect from this new show from Tanndemonium. To be quite honest, you're going to expect all kinds of, I guess, the same sort of stupendous idiocracy that you would have expected from the Primetime is Tanndemonium Radio Show. Except, like I said, I'm trying to be, trying to behave and trying to do it, the nice way, the right way, because we definitely do want to, well, at least I do. Shane doesn't care one way or the other. But I would like to one day actually get a paying radio gig or a paying terrestrial radio gig,
You
and
could turn
at
this
least
into
be
a
able
drinking
to...
game. Drink
What's
every
that?
time. I said they could turn this into a drinking game. Drink every time Shane slips up and actually swears on the show.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. What's funny, though, is that if that were the case, then I don't think people would get past the first break.
Well, so far they would have made it the last 11 minutes. Like, man, I haven't been able to drink yet.
Well, I don't know. I think the opening, like when you were describing what was on the cards, I think that can be debatable.
I don't know, but it was nothing that they would bleep out. It wasn't kosher.
That's true. Well, honestly, we can't say about anything that anyone will bleep out because we don't have a bleeper. Technically, you're the bleeper. And when the bleeper is the one that slips up, well, then you can't really depend on the bleeper to bleep. Yeah, so kick back, relax, enjoy, because when it comes time for Tanndemonium, you never know what you're going to get. We have all kinds of topics to discuss, things that are going on, things that piss us off, things that just downright get on our nerves. You're going to hear me rant and rave. You're going to hear Shane try to be the voice of reason. And when you got Shane Tassinari being the voice of reason, that can never, ever, ever be good.
That's one of the signs of the apocalypse, just so you know.
Yeah, pretty much. We're almost there anyway when you talk to some people. Gays can get married, so that means that people in that creepy redneck church are probably losing their minds. We'll be right back on the Tanndemonium Radio Show here on the Granite Coast Radio Entertainment Network. We'll be right back.
And now, broadcasting live from the lower intestine of the cat living under your porch. You might want to let her in so you can embark upon the world of Tanndemonium, starring Brian Tann.
So I put two and two together there and decided that you're pissing me off.
And Shane Tassinari.
Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
You are now listening to a man that is the amoeba that suckles on the underbelly of the scum of the earth, Brian Tann.
I'm glad that our announcer loves me as much as he does.
It's almost
We're back
narcissistic.
on Tanndemonium Radio Show. It is I, of course, Brian Tann. And with me, as always, is Shane Tassinari, my favorite Italian stallion.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
I hold you in high regard if I compare you to Ralph Wiggum. Oh, man. So, Shane, have you watched the interview yet?
Yes, I did. And there's actually...
Oh, you actually did watch it?
I did, and I paid the $5 or however much it was to watch it on Google Play just because I felt the patriotic responsibility to actually throw money to it.
Yeah, I guess I'm not that
backstory
much of a
to
patriot. I'm too cheap and broke to spend $5 on something that's going to be on Netflix in 6 months.
You want to hear the awkward backstory to that?
Yeah, please do. Please give it to us.
Okay.
In case you've been living under a rock, this movie has actually caused quite a lot of controversy, and of course has caused Sony to get hacked by psychotic North Korean hackers. Shane.
Oh yeah, it gets better. But here's the awkward moment that happened on, I think it was Christmas Day night. So the movie came out, and there's all the hype. So I'm sitting at my grandmother's house after all the running around at all the other family members, and this is where I was going to stay for the night. So I'm sitting there with myself and my uncle and my 14-year-old cousin.
So the Tassinari clan is sitting around together. The alcohol hasn't kicked in for Italian mayhem. Go ahead.
Right, exactly. And this was the Tassinari side of the family. And so we're sitting there, and I'm like, hey, who wants to watch the interview? And my cousin's like, yeah, I want to see that. And my uncle's kind of like, well, whatever. And Jackie's like, I want to see it too. So I hook it all up to the flat screen TV, get my laptop set up, and all this other stuff. So we start watching the movie. And granted, I don't know the background of like Seth Rogen and all that stuff all that well because I haven't seen very many of their movies. So
you haven't seen like Pineapple Express, 40-Year-Old Virgin,